Hello everyone, it's IK Mike X here with another Dragalia Lost video, and today I'm going to be going over what could happen with a prediction videos of what's going to be announced in the Dragalia Digest. So, as you know, tonight is when they're going to talk about the they're going to be talking about the new Dragalia Digest. So I'm going to be going over some stuff. So first off, Chapter 18 Part 2 came out, and with it we got some new stuff. So this is going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to listen to this, I suggest if you don't want to listen to these spoilers, if you haven't already done the story yet for chapter 18 part 2, and you don't want to spoil it right now, then I suggest skipping ahead to a timestamp. I'll put in the description. So, I'm gonna put it a marker of when to skip ahead for that. So I'm gonna give you like 10 seconds to do that. So, okay, it's been enough time. So I'm gonna go in and talk about this. So first off, Chapter 18 Part 2 came out, and we got a lot of new story content. We met some new we got to meet a new character. We didn't get to see them, but we did they came up. Not only that, we did get their names at least confirmed, which is the leader of the fairies. But not only that, but we got brand new images for a knot, and I'm going to show you them. So not as you know. So going over to, this one. So, as you know, there are different variations, but the most recent ones are these two, which this is one that we saw in the story, which she's holding a dagger, as you can see there. But then there's this one, which is a sword, which I feel like this is going to be her Gawa variant, which it's kind of weird, but many people are thinking that she's going to have a unique transformation where she's going to turn into this, where she's initially going to be this and then turn into this. But I don't think so, just because of the fact is that while it's true that mostly because of the fact of there's only one way they could do that, because first of all, those are two different weapon types. This one is clearly a dagger, while this one is definitely a sword. So the one issue is how they're going to implement. If they do that, they would basically make a tiki where she won't get a third or fourth ability. That's like one of the only ways, because the problem is, but actually wait, no, even still, I don't think it's possible because of the weapons. It's two different weapon types. Yes, you can change the skills and stuff, but to give a comparison, look at the difference in their stats in dagger and daggers and swords have completely different stats. So they can't really just do that. I don't think it's possible. I mean, they could, but I don't think it would work. I feel like this is going to be a Gawa variant. As with this one, I know it sounds weird, but they might give her a regular variant afterwards. I know it sounds weird to give a variant after a Gawa, to give a normal variant over a Gala version, after a Gala version, but I don't know. It's either going to be one or the other, to say the least. But I feel like this is going to be this is the one they're going to use. This is going to be the Gawa one. I feel like that's how it is. Or they could go with the dagger. But the one thing is, if they do that, that's going to be another wind sword. If they do it with this one, that's another wind sword, which would be surprising. But that's one of the things that ends up happening. Now, the other thing that we do know about is we also got an announcement of Nedrick. We end up meeting Nedrick, and we find out about Nedrick's dragon. Yes, you heard me right. I said dragon. Nedrick did have a dragon beforehand, which confuses the heck out of me, because what's the deal? What is the deal? Is Nechik really the king? Because if he was the one that supposedly died a while ago, I mean, yeah, he could definitely have a dragon again, but like, what made him lose it in the original way? And I don't. I feel like there's going to be a lot. What made him lose his dragon originally? But we're gonna have to find a lot about it. We'll probably find some way of how Nedrick survived. But anyway, the main character. So the thing about Nedrick is we found out his dragon, which turns out it's Bahamut, which Bahamut is a very famous dragon. Yeah, Rage of Bahamut, let's just say Grand Blue friend. Grand Blue. Let me show you what Bahamut looks like. This is Bahamut. Yeah. Literally, he's got, first of all, he's got 4 hands. He's got two regular hands, and then he's got hands on his wings, which is weird. But yeah, he is a. Yeah, this is a. Oh, and that's his proto form. So we will see the inclusion of Bahamut, which will be crazy. Of course, we'll also to talk about Seo's Wrath coming up. Probably give a mention to that, seeing as how, and probably give some info on it, and maybe give us more. So yeah, that's one other thing. Now, okay, my bad, I kind of skipped ahead. But moving on, let's talk about Seo's Wrath. Seo's Wrath, that is coming out in. If you don't know, Seo's Wrath is coming out not tonight, not on reset tonight, but on the reset on Friday. So she'll come out Friday, the day before the this 2.5 year anniversary. So I feel like they're gonna talk about, just give a quick mention to this, but also potentially talk about the other when also tell us the release date for the other 2 Legend difficulty bosses, which are Ayaha and Otaha, as well as as well as Tartarus. I was calling Tartarus a her. I meant to say he. So I feel like they're going to talk about that. Another thing that they will definitely talk about is they'll probably give us a reveal date of. They might give us a. They'll probably talk about when. Well, we've had talk about the Ocean Coast Shadow when the master difficulty for co-op is released, and then possibly give us a teaser, and then potentially give us a teaser for the next Dominion, Rise of the Sinister Dominion boss. So there's that. That's gonna. I feel like they're gonna, as well as kind of reveal what the next 2 bosses like, if they do that, they'll probably also reveal what element they are. If I had to guess, I feel like because it seems like, because technically the team that we got upgraded with was the light team. I feel like they're going to be going in reverse order. In reverse order of how they how they did the Akito boss fights. So this first boss fight So this first boss fight, you had to use a light team, which it was better to have curse res units, because of which I found out though it does inflict 2 different status ailments, but the status ailments that she inflicts are not they're not 2 like she doesn't inflict 4. She only inflicts 1 for each type in the master fight, which. For light, it's curse. For water, it's stun. So I feel like they're gonna reveal another thing that they will definitely do. I feel like the next boss will probably be burnt. If the order I'm saying ends up being right, I feel like the next boss will be fire. Will be mainly fire to upgrade your water teams, and the other variant in its master will probably be, if I had to guess, let me think. It will be fire and wind. and that one will be in and which, oh yeah, if you haven't done this, the leadership coaching shadow, the Rise of Sinister Dominions, their first forms are fallen angel variants of the apostles, which their fallen angel variants are the opposite of them. So, like, the first one we have is Ramio, who Ramio is is a shadow dragon, but his fallen angel variant that we fight in Rise of Sinister Dominion is um well, actually, wait, no. The fallen angels, actually, wait, no, it's shadow as well. Never mind. But I feel like it would be, but well, we'll see. Actually, it could not be water. It could be, they actually could be a wind team. The only reason why I'm saying this is because of actually, instead it probably is a wind team. Yeah, never mind. The only reason why I'm changing my thing is because I think the second boss will be um Gabriel, who is a water boss. So it'll probably be a water and something else. Like, yeah, whatever the third apostle, whatever the next apostle we find out about, which it will probably be water. You know what? It might be water fire, which actually would be weird. I don't think they would do that. I think it'll be fun. Um, because I know Vamir is a shadow, and it will probably be a water team, but it'll probably be water and flame or shadow. Is the team the first one will be wind, and it'll be probably wind, and then flame or shadow might be it. Which, if that's the case, Gabriel will. Which, if that's the case, I feel like we're gonna fight. So Gabriel will probably be the fallen angel variant, and 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 we'll probably get the wind variant. Which, if I had to guess with the wind, it would probably, if it's the wind one next, then it'll probably be, if we're using wind, then it'll probably be what's the name of those? What's the name of those characters? I'm kind of rambling on, but it can either go by opposite order of how we got the drag, how we got the Agito boss fights, or in the order of when the apostle dragons appeared. Which, if it's going by the variant of the Agito, this first one being a Curse Res Light team and a Stun Res Flame team, the next one would be a Stun Res Water team. It will probably be Burn Res, Water, and wind, and it will be a Wind Freeze Res, and then Wind Bog Res, followed by Shadow Blind Res, and then Shadow Curse Res, followed by Flame Sleep Res, and then Flame Stun Res, followed by Light Poison Res. Or the other way, or it could be, like I said, the other way. But whatever is the main element, I feel like they're gonna make whatever is the main element of like the boss that we're gonna face, the whatever the first element is, first resistance is, which for flame and stun, water, the one for the high dragons at least, it was flame and stun, water was burn, wind was bog, light was curse, and shadow was what's it again? It was paralysis. Yeah, shadow will be paralysis rest, and then paralysis rest. Let's see. But anyway, moving along. We also are getting a new. Moving along, let's talk about some of the other stuff, like going into the feedback stuff. So, as you know, so one thing that the person talks about, last year we had that Vagabond Pupper event for last year's April Fools, which April Fools is it's actually in 8 days. So they'll probably talk about that again, or they might talk about that again. I feel that's definitely coming back. Um, they'll probably add. They'll probably talk about the fact that we're going to be able to get. They'll probably talk about how. And then there's also the materials that are dropped from the Morciati Reckoning, specifically the ones that are used to upgrade the altars, and the doges and the elemental altars, and then of course there's the drops from the the double and triple drops for like elemental ruins, dragon towers, and imperial onslots and stuff. Here's what I'm thinking they're going to be talking about. They will definitely reveal. They might reveal double or triple drop dates for those events. But I feel okay. We're refraining from that. We'll talk about that when we go over last year's Dragalia digest for March, for the 1.5 year anniversary. But one thing I definitely think they're going to be talking about is, I feel like they're going to combine these two things where we might get. I'm hoping we finally get new elemental ruins, like a master difficulty unlocked, which gives us access to tier 4. Not only will it give us access to tier 4 orbs in those quests, but it will increase the drop rate, or hopefully they increase the drop rate of the what's it called, the rainbow orbs. So I feel like they definitely increase the. I feel like they might increase the drop rate of the rainbow orbs, but another thing that they definitely might do is they might give us master dungeons, master elemental ruins, where we can, which not only gives us tier 4 orbs, but to make it not where people are going to find them instead of the story quest, make the very hard story quest, they'll probably make them have like the same or even less of a chance to drop than those ones, than the very hard ones, but make it so that it has it gives you a lot more rainbow orbs, as well as this will and potentially give us, and also give us the stuff used to upgrade the dojos and the upgrade the dojos and the elemental altars. They might also add it into it might give us another new difficulty for Imperial Onslaught. Hopefully something like that. But, so there's that. That's one thing I definitely get to talk, which I am hoping for. Now, so that's like the only thing I wanted to talk about here. But now let's move on to the Dragalia digest from the 1.5 year anniversary. Dragalia. So So last year we got there's a Gal unit, which, like I said, the Gal unit, I feel like is going to be going out, which will probably be another sword or a dagger. They could do either one, but we'll have to wait and see. So of course they'll do a new daily stuff, which another login bonus, which last year we got. The first day gave us a 10 for summon voucher. The second day gave us the mini Zodi. Now for this one, I feel like they're going to give us mini. So far we've had mini mids, mini Zodi, and mini Hildy. I feel like the next one would be whatever the mini Merc, and then which the 3 year anniversary will be mini Jupe. Of course, they give us exquisite honey, 40 of them, which that would be good. Then they give us a 5-star 1-print, the Red Impulse, which is strike and skill damage, which give us a skill damage variant of Dragon Claws, which I feel like they might give us a 5-star 1-print. 5-star summon voucher. They will then for adventurer, 1 for adventure, 1 for dragons each. So they might do that again. Blessed Ethan Ashes times 40. Damascus Ingot, Eldwater and Wormrite 100,000 Eldwater and Wormrite 1,200. I feel like they'll probably. I'm hoping that they would do some now. There is the 2-year anniversary, which, if I was to look at, yeah, there was the Champion's Testaments, the Mini Hildy, Talon Stones, Rainbow Orbs, Wormrite, 5-star 1 per second anniversary, 5-star Summon Voucher Dragon, Domestic Ingot, Wormrite, and Sunlight Stone. They could, either one of them could do that, but I feel like if I had to guess which ones, they'll definitely give us a Worm print. They'll probably give us a 5-star Summon Voucher. I'm hoping that they give us more Wormrite, or like giving us 2 summons at least, 2 free summons, and with these second anniversary, with these login bonuses, and the Sunlit Stone would be great. As for the Damascus is, I'm hoping they give us a Adamantite Ingot instead. Well, actually no, Damascus Ingots are needed too. So yeah, they'll probably give us free summons like last year, which was great. Prior to the showcase, they'll definitely give us 2 of them, which the last time, yeah, to give us, yeah, they'll give us a Dragalia with all this stuff, and then of course they might do a retweet campaign, which I'm hoping for. Of course, they're going to be anniversary packs like last time. They'll probably do, yeah, they'll probably do the double and triple drop stuffs and other of these events. Yeah, they might do the social rewards counter reset again. Then of course the 1.5, yeah, so triple drops, double and triple. They'll probably announce the next raid event, or maybe potentially a facility event first. Though I'm hoping that they talk about. I'm hoping kind of like, who knows, they might do. We just did the Apostle, so I don't think they're gonna do too much with that. They'll probably talk about the event compendium like last time. Hopefully they'll go into what they give us, like something like, hopefully they'll talk about resetting the Fafnir Metal Shop. Yeah, they'll hopefully talk about the it's been a year since we've gotten info about that, so I'm hoping that we do get that. They'll probably spoil us on the next few chapters. And they might talk about the collab. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they need to talk about. So yeah, as for involving the raid event, it could be the next event. It could be anything. Honestly, it could be anything. I'm hoping for, maybe another look at another syndicate event. As well as some news. Yeah, they said there's going to be new events, so I'm looking forward to those. And as for what I think about what they're going to do. So there's a lot of info to talk about with those ones. We have to wait and see with that one. I'm hoping that they finally release the encyclopedia event, because we've been waiting for so long for that to finally come out, and we have been waiting for so long for that to get released. I mean, we literally got info about it last year, and they told us it wasn't quite ready by the second anniversary, and yet it still isn't here, and we have got no info since then. So I'm hoping that they have it, but in this one, they could tell us like, oh hey, we're going to be releasing this with the next update, because I get it that they want to make stuff for new players, but the problem is that like not everything that they do is for new players. Like the 2-year anniversary, they give us the Imperium Battle Royale. Okay, that's fine, except for the problem is that like no one asked for that, and it's not really for and it's not just for new players. In fact, it's not really a new player type thing. It's just for people. It's just a fun little distraction to play to make that is kind of competitive. But not only that, I mean, I get it that they were trying to get greedy and try to get more people to pay for this game, specifically because I figured out why they put it in, because when they introduced the unique skill, when they introduced the royal skills, which were like, oh, you can have like special variants, but we've only got to 2, and they're saying they're not going to give out much, but it's like we got that in September. It took them till December to introduce that royal skills. If they wanted to make this, they should have waited. I get it if they wanted to make this, but you should have done another digest in December and announced that then, or like a short little thing and announced that then, instead of announcing it and finish the encyclopedia first. Because, I mean, I get it, you wanted to get people, but no one was but the people played it for a little bit just to get the Dragonstone, and that was it. But no one was spending more money to get characters in there, to get like specific characters in there. They just not many people. I mean, some people were trying to get like there was only certain skins, and you couldn't give skins to the character. They didn't have anything that people wanted to get. Like they didn't have like unique skins to say that you could unlock if you had the characters at that time. There was a lot of stuff that they did. They didn't introduce that till much later. Like all that stuff, it was like you basically put something out that you wanted to introduce like months ahead, instead of giving us the thing you announced a half a year ago. And yet we still don't have to this day, and it's almost been a year since you gave like since you showed us the details of it. So that was like one of my big it felt like it was a waste of time. You should have given us the encyclopedia, but I get it. You wanted to make things more for the beginner players, but honestly, that Dragalia Royale wasn't really just for it. It really wasn't much for beginner players. Okay, I mean, it was kind of, because there was items in there that people could get, but those stuff would be like stuff that you can have. It wasn't something that you can have in like, it really wasn't for beginners. The items that you can have would be helpful. It would be more like, a lot of them mostly were helpful in the long run. It wasn't too helpful that much, at least the items that they gave. Besides the Sunlight Stone and some of the other items that upgrade 5-star stuff. But I get it that they want to be more beginner friendly, the game, because they're constantly getting new players. But Psyche should realize that a lot of our player base, at least it was, though it's starting to change, was veteran players, and I think it still is. A lot of new players still kind of end up dropping the game after a while. While the veterans are still around and still playing it regularly. I mean, it might not be the case in Japan. It might be the opposite. But in America, from what I know of, a majority of the people are. There are a lot of beginner players, but not all of them stick around for too long. Not all of them stick around for too long. The people that do stick around end up becoming more veteran players. So yeah, you need to. I get. It's not Righteousness Dominion was a great thing for that, but still, they need to upgrade some stuff. But we need more stuff. You need to put out some of the stuff that you already promised instead of keep adding stuff that not that really is that you haven't even announced yet, that you gave no detail prior and don't really help out much of many new people and aren't really that it wasn't really asked for. I mean, we stop holding off on stuff that you promised us for a long time. I'm just hoping that they do give us the encyclopedia, but I can only hope. Knowing that they probably would say, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more. Just hope that they finally get to it. Now, as for other stuff I was going to talk about the collab. So, here's what we're going to talk about, because so far the collabs have been so I've narrowed it down to 3 choices of what I think the collab could be. Now, most like the top 2, which the third one is a little bit, well, the third one is actually more than one option, but I'll talk about it. But the first one that I say is definitely the most likely option is the third Fire Emblem Heroes crossover event with a rerun of the first 2. The reason why I'm saying this is because, because we've been getting, the main reason why is because of the fact is we don't have all the characters yet, and every fall, and we've always been getting the Fire Emblem Heroes crossover events. We've always been getting it for why I'm saying fall. We've always been getting the Fire Emblem Hero, the crossover event that happens in the spring, that each half-year anniversary has been the Fire Emblem Heroes event. Which we had the first one, and then we had a second one where we had a rerun of the first one, and then we got the second one. So they might do that again, where it's the first 2 get reruns together, and the third one is afterwards. The one thing I will say is I'm not going to... Now, if I had to give my own ideas of what I think about the first anniversary, about this, if they do this, or they just do the second and the third, I'm hoping that and do like a third one, I'm guessing if they might do what they did last year, where they re-released the second, but where they did a rerun of the first one. But the thing that they did is they unlocked the mana spirals for the Fire Emblem Heroes characters that we got during that event. They could do that again, but this time with the second. And as for the third, and then give us where we get a chance to get in those characters as well as a mana spiral for each one of them, and then they give us the third event. With the characters that are left in the Fire Emblem Heroes that we didn't get yet. As for which I would welcome that, but if they do that, I'm hoping for something new. The one thing I'm hoping for specifically is new style event. I'm something other than defense, like maybe onslaught. Like onslaught could be good. Though I don't think they'll do that. They'll probably do a defense because that's kind of like that's like the style of game that Fire Emblem games are kind of based off of, the way that they have it in the game. At least if it was like RPG where you roam around like that, instead of like how they do it in the games where it's like block movement types things. Anyway, but the main thing I'm gonna say is I'm wondering what they're going to... But if they do that, one thing I want is I'm hoping they finally give us another event that gives us double critical damage double puff. Because I've been stressing over this. I don't have it. I have yet to get it. Or I mean, I don't have it. I mean, I did have it, but an error, which a mistake I made, ended up with me losing it. Um, so I'm hoping, specifically the Feline Hospitality, that's the one I missed, which, and that's from the Monster Hunter event. So I'm hoping that they give us a new one. I'm hopefully that they give us one that gives us critical damage double buff, or at least or hopefully they give us, or hopefully the next event, whatever the next event is for the anniversary, for the 2.5 year anniversary, is gives us that. I'm just hoping for a permanent version of critical damage double buff, just because a lot of people still don't. There's a lot of people who still don't have it, and we shouldn't, and people should should have that. People, that's something that they need to give us, especially with the case that, well, excluding the rest of the Sinister Dominion, most of the bosses are critical double buff is like a big thing. So yeah, there's that. As for my second choice, like I kind of already talked about, Monster Hunter. I know that seems. Now the reason why I'm saying it's likely, but not as likely as Fire Emblem Heroes, is why it could be considered another possibility, and I'd rather have this one, is because of Monster Hunter Rise. Rise comes out. Actually, I think Rise comes out soon. Actually, I think it might be already. Monster Hunter Rise might already be out. Yeah, it's coming. Okay, no, it comes out in 2 days, and it comes out the second quarter of 2022 on PC. But it's coming out for the Switch, and the thing is that Capcom has been advertising Monster Hunter Rise a ton. They've been publishing it. They've been putting it in so many stuff, including like other mobile games and stuff that they've been trying to get people to play the new Monster Hunter Rise. That's how big this game. That's how much they've been promoting it. They've been trying to get it put everywhere. They've been trying to get it out so people could buy the game. So they could potentially try to see that, hey, side games, can you do another collab to promote Monster Hunter Rise? And if they do, I'm hopeful that they do a rerun of the first Monster Hunter collab event and give it so we could get access to, because I didn't get all the I unfortunately missed Hunter Series, so I'm gonna get that, and I'm hopefully they give it, and also I'm gonna get Feline Hospitality. So this time I want to get Feline Hospitality again and keep it this time. So yeah, that's kind of like that's the co-op I want, but it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be Fire Emblem Heroes. As for the third co-op, it kind of is mostly gonna be a Capcom. It's either gonna be a Capcom one or, okay, actually wait, I'll say third or fourth. The third or fourth one could be interchanged, but it's either going to be another Capcom IP or a side games IP, such as like potentially Grand Blue Fantasy, Rage of Bahamut, or like Rage of Bahamut. What's the other one? Like Shadow stuff. Any they could actually do almost anything. They could kind of do any side games promotion or something like that, because they did do a collab to promote the English release, to promote the global release of Princess Connect by giving us Pecorine. So hopefully they do something so they could do that as well. But those two I see as less likely as the first two I mentioned. So we'll have to wait and see. That's that's kind of going to be it for what my thoughts are going to be for for the new 2.5 year anniversary. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what I feel like is going to be the next Gala Dragon, at least for April. Okay, I'll tell you that. My prediction is probably going to be, if I had to guess, my prediction is going to be Void Agni. It's going to be Gala Reborn Agni, which I'm wondering what they're going to do, because if they give him just like a copy of like what the other dragons have with his abilities, it's not. It feels like it's going to be a waste, especially because the fact is that the only reason why I'm saying this is because why I think they might do something different is because they kind of already have a dragon that is like the Gala Reborn's Dragons on Flame, which is Gozu Tenno, where his abilities are kind of the same. The only difference is that his second ability, the second ability gives the same modifier. The only difference is, instead of it being whenever you gain Dragon Gate, the 10% when you have increased 10% Dragon Gates, and instead is what's that thing called again? What's that boss called again? Instead of it being the whenever the Dragon Gauge increases, it's 4 strike. But he also has some Midgard Soma Zeros win defense down, which I am glad I have at least Midgard Soma Zero, because I don't have Go Reborn Zephyr, but because that basically means that I can apply I could be the one member of the team that could apply the defense the elemental when elemental defense down for Ciela later on when that comes out, as well as be the one who takes out if Legend Ciela ends up summoning the birds in her second form whenever she uses the one attack where she goes invisible, Mist Veil I think it was, because like she doesn't master, or she could use that in her first form as well. But yeah, I could basically be the nuke for that. So I'm hoping for that. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you like this video, please click the like button and leave a comment down below. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video, where I'll probably be giving my reaction to Dragalia Digest. So until then, later everyone.